Bethesda's Senior Global Vice President of Marketing, Pete Hines.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. You can't applaud too much or somebody's going to put out a video saying I paid you to do that, so please keep your applause to it. But thank you for that genuine, unpaid-for applause, and welcome to the 24th Annual Quakecon. Now, as everybody in this room is well aware, Doom turned 25 this year, and we're celebrating Doom all during Quakecon this year. So what does that mean? Well, not only will Marty and Hugo be up on stage here in just a little bit, showing you a lot more of Doom Eternal, but we've got a whole host of special activities dedicated to Doom, from panels to tournaments and a lot more. To see everything that's going on, visit quakecon.org or tune in to quakecon.tv. Don't worry, this is still Quakecon. This is still the event that you know and love, North America's biggest LAN party. A place where people from all over Texas and all around the world come together every year to hang out with their friends, show off their custom rigs, play games, and check out all the latest games from id Software and all of the studios at Bethesda. Our special focus on Doom isn't the only thing that's new this year. We're also going global with an inaugural 2-day event in London. It includes panels, activities, and hands-on gameplay. QuakeCon London helps bring the QuakeCon vibe to our friends across the pond so they can get a feel of what QuakeCon is all about. So I would like for you guys to help me give them a very special welcome to QuakeCon. Hey, guys. We hope you guys are having as much fun there as I know we are here. Now, there is one other thing that's different about this year's QuakeCon. Usually, Tim Willits kicks off the QuakeCon keynote, but as many as you know, Tim announced that after 25 years here, Tim is leaving id. Now, he's not just an amazing leader at id Software and one of the best creative voices in gaming, but he's also a great friend of mine, and I'm sure you're going to miss him as much as I am. Tim has been instrumental in the growth of QuakeCon, and he's attended every single one of the 24 we've had so far. Before he leaves to start his next adventure, we wanted to ask him up here one more time to say a few words. So please welcome my very good friend, Tim Willits.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Pete. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. That makes me feel very good. Thank you. You know, I also I want to thank everyone at id Software and everyone at Bethesda for making the last 24 years so amazing. And most importantly, I want to thank all of you, our fans, not just the fans here at QuakeCon, but the fans around the fans around the world that have supported us for so many years. But now, before I go, I still have some things to do. Pete and I will be returning as judges for the dirtiest keyboard contest. Yes? So come down and see us in the BYOC after Master Pancake. And luckily for me, I will still be hosting the block party. That's here Saturday night. So please come and join me to celebrate this amazing weekend. Thank you all.
Now, before you go, as much as I love making games with you, I think I enjoy having fun with you even more. And so in that spirit, we've prepared a small tribute for you before you go. Take a look.
Tim throughout the years, Tim throughout
Thanks to our friends at Avalanche Studios. So now that we're alone, now that it's just us in the room, do you guys want to see something cool? In the original Doom, we had a lot of limitations when we were working with the maps. As technology's improved, we've had fewer and fewer limitations. And now we have the ability to create anything that we want. Thank you.
One more time, please,
Thank you.
for Tim Willits.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck on your next adventure, Tim, and we know we'll see you all around the show. Now, as many of you know, Tim was working on Rage 2, a game that we've continued to support since its critically acclaimed launch in May. In the past few months, we've added all kinds of insane updates and wacky community events, and our next big update is out right now. It's got a few new, totally free modes, including New Game Plus and an Ultra Nightmare mode, plus a lot more. Check out what's in the update.
Oi, what's that? You think you're done already? Well, it's time to step it up, you goons. Bring it the f***! 3 new playable modes! Wowee! Now you get to keep all the kick-ass gear you earn. It's harder every time you beat the bloody thing, but who cares? Because you're packing a real wallop. Goodbye! Whoa, prestige badges! Remember when any wanker could die 1,000 times and beat the game? Well now, you die once, you lose. Oh, when did he grow wings? Remember when your mates were like, Rage 2 is your wildest dreams come true? Now,
It's your worst f***ing nightmare.
hold your horses, there's more cool shit. You insane cheats. Fuck a duck, look at him fly. Holy guacamole, new skins. You want no-pause pop-ups? You got it. Oh yeah, look, she's a good person, but you don't have to listen to this lady anymore. And who doesn't like a BJ? Blaskowitz.
It's do or die, soldier.
The insanity never ends.
So as always, we've got a lot going on this year at Quakecon, but before I share some of the highlights, I want to make sure to thank the sponsors and exhibitors who make Quakecon possible. From tabletop games to tasty treats, PC hardware providers, indie developers, and more, we've got a lot of great stuff for you to check out. So be sure to stop by their booths in the exhibit hall. And it wouldn't be Quakecon without some competition. This year, we're kicking off the Quake Pro League with 20 of the world's best players competing in a year-long season that starts right here at Quakecon. So, whether you're here with us in Dallas or watching the tournament at home, we've got a really fun new way to participate. Just sign into the FanDuel app, pick the winners of each of the matches, and you've got a chance of winning up to $1,000 and an NVIDIA graphics card. You can catch all the action and everything that we're streaming on Quakecon.tv. Also going on right now is the second annual Master Series for the Elder Scrolls Legends, featuring the top 8 qualifiers with a prize pool of $50,000. The matches are just starting, so you can check it out after this keynote is done. All the action is going to be on the Legends Twitch channel. Plus, we've got a full schedule of community tournaments in our BYOC, including Quake World, Quake 2, Quake Live, and Quake Champions. And because this is the year of Doom, we're running competitive speedruns for all of your favorite Doom games. Plus, we've got the Elder Scrolls Online 1v1 and Nuclear Winter for Fallout 76. And of course, it wouldn't be Quakecon without a chance for some good laughs, and tonight's Master Pancake Theater is going to be exceptional because they are going to be skewering Doom. A movie that, let's be honest, doesn't need a whole lot of skewering for all of the unintentional comedy, but believe me when I tell you, what they're going to do to that movie is got to be seen. We're going to be streaming some big panels all throughout Quakecon as well, including a couple that are part of our DoomCon programming. Now, immediately following this keynote, we're going to take a look back at how Doom has influenced games and the industry as a whole with an all-star panel of Bethesda developers. And tomorrow at 11 a.m., we will go knee-deep in the Doom, where you can join Marty and Hugo for a live gameplay demo of Doom Eternal. Also on Saturday at 10 a.m., we've got a Fallout 76 panel. The team will be here to share the latest on Nuclear Winter, Wastelanders, Vault Raids, and a lot more. And Saturday at 2, join Matt Farrower and Rich Lambert, who are going to be coming to walk you through the Elder Scrolls Online and all they've got coming up. And if you join us here, or if you join us on Twitch Live, twitch.tv/Bethesda, you get a chance to get exclusive drops during the ESO panel. Along with the panels, you can also try out all the latest Bethesda games in our booth here at Quakecon, including, of course, Doom Eternal. You can play the Elder Scrolls Blades on Switch. You can try the latest updates for Rage 2. You can try the Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76. And by the way, for 76, we've got a really cool component where we're playing Nuclear Winter in the booth for 76. And as you play, if you finish in the top 10, as you play against everybody else in the world, we'll make a donation to One Up on Cancer for $76 for every person who finishes in the top 10. So every victory not only earns you some bragging rights, but you'll also be helping support one of the half dozen charities that are here at Quakecon, including One Up on Cancer, Anime for Humanity, Stack Up, Gamers Outreach, American Red Cross, and of course, Dallas Pets Alive. If you're here at Quakecon, please visit these charities and get involved. Many of our charity partners are doing free giveaways if you make a donation, like the American Red Cross, which is once again sponsoring a blood drive. If you give blood, you help save a life, and you'll get a raffle ticket. And that raffle ticket gives you a chance to win this Wolfenstein Youngblood PC from Corsair. And in the spirit of Youngblood being a co-op game, if you bring a friend and both of you donate blood, each of you will get 2 raffle tickets for a chance to win. I don't advise trying to do that more than once because you need blood to be able to play on the PC you win. And of course, Dallas Pets Alive, which is featuring these awesome QuakeCon exclusive t-shirts. There are 2 versions. I'm wearing the dog variant, and Jason is here. Where's the cat? Jason's got the cat shirt on. So we're selling these shirts exclusively on Bethesda.net for a limited time as well. So if you can't be here and you want to get one, or you are here because we sell out of them really quick and you want to be able to get one, go to Bethesda.net for a chance to get one there. But working with charities and doing some good is just one of the QuakeCon traditions that you know and love. The other is big sales and special offers and saving money. And this year is no different. Now, if you're a PlayStation Now subscriber, we've got some fun news because Fallout 4, Wolfenstein New Order, and Doom 2016 are all coming to PlayStation Now on August 6th. Beyond that, all of our games are on sale right now, and that even includes Rage 2. So you have a chance to get it at a great price and check out the new updates that you just saw in the video and get a chance to play it while you're here at QuakeCon. But that isn't the only shooter that we have out now, because as of today, both Cyberpilot and Wolfenstein Youngblood are released and available to play now. And if you're in the mood for killing some Nazis, which is even more fun to do with a friend, check out the launch trailer for Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Listen close, girls. The world is a dark forest full of monsters. Monsters that'll tear your flesh from bone.
We would have been so good together.
Monsters that'll tear your mind and soul.
I will not let you hurt my son.
But you're wolves. And these are your woods.
All right, Jess. What's the plan?
Find our dad and kill Nazis.
So you girls are sisters.
Twin sisters.
He came here looking for something, and suddenly he was gone.
We can do this, Jess.
What the fuck do you think you're doing?
We're going to the hamburger bar, Mother.
Hamburger bar my ass!
They think you will tremble before their fury. That you lack the strength.
You could have flake out on me?
Hell no.
But they fear the blood running through your veins. The blood of Blazkowicz. What if it's too late?
Then we keep fighting. Together.
Wolfenstein Cyberpilot and Wolfenstein Youngblood are both playable in our booth. Come by and start shooting, stabbing, strangling Nazis. And now, Quakecon, it's the moment you've been waiting for. It's time for some Doom Eternal. Let's do it.
Thank you. Thank you all so much. Just you make it. You're very sweet. You're legends. I'll be Keanu. You're a legend. It works for him, not so much for me. I got to tell you, because of stuff like that, the time we get with all of you here at Quakecon is really a highlight of the year for our team. You guys are fantastic. Thank you for being here, for watching online, and for your continued support. We have got a ton to cover on Doom Eternal, but first, you may have heard we are celebrating a very special milestone this year, the 25th anniversary of Doom. That's right, we kicked things off several months ago with the launch of the Slayers Club. This is an awesome, yeah, I know we got some Slayers Club members in the house, right? Very good. It is an awesome hub for everything Doom at slayersclub.com. You have to check it out for all the latest news, information, fun community events, activities, and a lot of giveaways.
You can even see some great in-game items in Doom Eternal for participating. But we're here because those original games were just so damn fun, right? You know, we've always said how inspired we are by the original Doom and Doom 2. And that inspiration continues through our work on Doom Eternal. So what better way to celebrate the year of Doom than bring Doom, Doom 2, and Doom 3 to platforms that need more Doom? Let's take a look. Doom 2 and Doom 3 on PlayStation 4, Xbox One Mobile, and Switch. Yep, absolutely, and those are all available today. Yeah, we thought it was about time our console friends had a chance to rip and tear as well. You're welcome. In fact, all of you here at Quakecon, you get to play all of them on the Nintendo Switch this weekend over in the Bethesda booth. So you definitely want to check that out. Absolutely, you're going to love it. But they aren't the only Doom games playable at Quakecon this year. Yeah, that's right. We brought you our demo of Doom Eternal. We were honored to win a ton of E3 awards and nominations, including Best Action Game. So we knew we had to bring it to Quakecon for you guys. I gotta tell you though, we packed a lot into that demo, and it only scratches the surface of what you'll see and do in Doom Eternal.
Absolutely. From the first kill in the game to the final boss fight, you will go on a journey unlike anything you've experienced in a Doom game before. In fact, here's an exclusive look at one of our favorite new Doom demons in Doom Eternal. Check this out.
I thought you would appreciate the century I chose. The great Argadon wonders from the Telos realm, the long thought to be extinct, created to hunt only the Slayer and your nut sentinels during the unholy crusades. Some improvements on the design of the game, and your is undoubtedly my finest work.
Yeah, that guy, he's called the Doom Hunter, and he's totally awesome, and you're gonna love fighting against him. It's sick.
It is sick, definitely. And we'll have even more from the campaign leading up to our launch on November 22nd. But we want to talk about the totally new online experience for Doom Eternal, Battle Mode.
Absolutely. You know, from the very beginning, our vision has been to create an engaging and competitive multiplayer mode that has varied pacing, tons of drama, and deep strategy. And we had to look no further than the single-player campaign to find all the ingredients we needed. Battle Mode is built from the same Doom combat DNA that you know and love, where skill and power of one fully loaded Slayer takes on the teamwork of two player-controlled demons.
And I tell you, playing as a demon is a great change of pace from playing as a Slayer. Each playable demon is simple to understand, totally unique, and allows for different play styles and strategies. We're going to take a closer look at a few to start.
Welcome to Doom Eternal's Battle Mode. This 2 versus 1 multiplayer gives players the chance to experience the fast, aggressive fun of single player with their friends. With 5 playable demons and 6 unique maps at launch, Battle Mode is a whole new way to play Doom. To start, let's take a closer look at its playable characters. The Revenant, one of the most versatile and agile demons. His jetpack and dash allow you to move quickly through the environment. His shoulder-mounted rockets deliver consistent firepower, while his special attack, a targeted rocket barrage, delivers heavy, long-range damage. The Pain Elemental. His ability to fly gives him a bird's-eye view, making it easier to track the Slayer and attack from the air. But that makes him more vulnerable when he's not using his rechargeable soul shield. The Mancubus. Big, beefy, and badass. He's got heavy cannons, flamethrowers, and tons of health. All of which make him lethal in a close-quarters fight with the Slayer. While he's not the most mobile demon, his smoke bombs can obscure his position or flush out an elusive Slayer. But demon strategy goes beyond their individual abilities. All the demons in battle mode can drop hazards that damage the Slayer, as well as summon different combinations of AI-controlled demons that behave and fight just like you expect from the campaign. Dropping hazards and summoning demons is controlled through a summoning wheel, allowing you to use these critical tools quickly when under fire. In battle mode, players take control of a fully loaded Slayer with all his guns, mods, and equipment. Just like in single player, the Slayer must aggressively manage not just the demons in the arena, but also their resources. Glory kill demons to replenish health, chainsaw to gain ammo, and torch demons to add armor. But be aware, each demon player has a slow charging ability to block those resources for a short time during the round. A perfectly timed resource block can put the Slayer on the ropes.
Thank you. That's a great example of where the depth of Battle Mode's gameplay and meta strategies start to go beyond character fundamentals to create moments of incredible pacing and drama. Let's take a look, starting with something simple like player outlines.
Demons can always see the Slayer, even through walls. But if the Slayer is able to break line of sight, his outline vanishes. Each arena has been designed to allow a clever Slayer to use the environment to become invisible and then flank the demons. This can change the pace of a match from a head-to-head brawl to a game of cat and mouse that leads to a surprise attack and then back to a brawl. Every arena is also designed with 2 portals facing each other at opposite ends that can only be used by the Slayer. As Slayers learn to use the portals to flank the demons, the tactic can be countered by demon players who drop hazards or AI demons on the other end. Working together is critical for the demons. When alone, a player demon doesn't typically stand a chance against a Slayer with all his weapons and speed. So Slayers try to isolate a demon, take it out, and move on to the next. The demons can counter by staying close and working together. There are also important strategies for the Slayer to master. In the air, the Slayer is tough to hit, and the arenas have been designed with jump pads and monkey bars that a Slayer can use to traverse from one portal to the other without touching the ground, all while delivering damage to the demon players. Of course, the Slayer's need for ammo, armor, and health bring him back to the ground, so when he lands to chainsaw an enemy for more ammo, demon players can launch a coordinated attack. One of the most dramatic moments in every round is when a demon dies. Once the Slayer has eliminated one demon, a respawn timer begins. and the Slayer has 20 seconds to eliminate the other demon to win the round. If he fails, the dead demon player rejoins the fight with half health. This quickly turns an all-out battle into a tense game of hide and seek. Rounds are won when either the Slayer is killed or both player-controlled demons are killed. But strategy extends between rounds as well. Players choose upgrades, abilities, and even super weapons in later rounds. In a best-of-5 match, if either side can win just one round, they gain access to power items, like player demons being able to summon the Baron of Hell, or Slayers gaining the BFG.
Yeah. It's so good, we can't wait for you to play it. We're so excited about battle mode. We know you want a competitive experience that's fun and full of drama, and we know you want it to look and feel just like Doom. So with 5 playable demons, plus the fully jacked Slayer competing across 6 totally unique maps, there's going to be tons for every player to master.
And I'll tell you, this is just the beginning for us. After launch, we'll be regularly releasing even more playable demons and maps, of course, all for free. Yeah. You're gonna like it. It's a ton of fun to play. And honestly, it takes an incredible team of people at id to create all of the stuff that we get to show you up here. We've got a lot of them in the audience. I'd love for them just to stand up real quick, wave. A lot of them are wearing Battle Mode t-shirts. There we go. Many of them will be working the Doom demo, so if they're wearing a Battle Mode t-shirt, they're probably from id or work with us at Bethesda, so give them a handshake and thank them. They'll really, really appreciate it. We really want to thank all of you for joining us today. We hope you're as excited about Doom Eternal and Battle Mode as we are. We really are, and we can't wait for you to play them both when they launch on November 22nd.
Yeah. But before we go,
there's always a little bit more.
Let's take one last look at the game, including 2 more playable demons that I think you're going to love. One of them is the Archvile, and the other one is the Marauder. Have a great Quakecon.
Thank you.
Thanks again to Marty and Hugo and everybody at id Software for everything that you've seen. We've got Doom Eternal playable in the Doom booth. Everyone here in Dallas, be sure to check it out. It is awesome. As well as all the other stuff we've got in the booth, Fallout 76, Rage 2, both Wolfenstein Youngblood and Cyberpunk, Elder Scrolls Online, and Blades for Switch, plus all the Osiris stuff. So there's a ton of stuff to come check out, play while you're here. For those of you at home, visit Bethesda.net for more info and news on all the games that we've heard about and been talking about. Tune in to watch the Doom panels, along with our panels for Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online. And don't forget to join the Doom Slayers Club, where you can win some cool prizes for Doom. Plus, it's literally the only way that you can be amongst the very first people in the world to try out Doom 2016 streaming at home with our new Orion technology. And of course, if you're here, you'll be able to play Doom Eternal at home on November 22nd. If you're not here, you can still play it at home on November 22nd. For those of you here with me, there's a ton going on at Quakecon, so I encourage you to download the app. It's got the full schedule and details on everything that we're doing. But don't leave your seats, because in a few minutes, we're going to bring out some chairs, and we're going to get right into our first Doom panel, looking back at 25 years of Doom and its influence on video game. Thanks, everybody. Have a great Quakecon.
Hello? Maybe like 12 people out there. So I am Jason Levy, Senior Community Manager for Doom Eternal.
And I'm Matt Grandstaff. I'm the Community Director at Bethesda. Welcome to our panel celebrating Doom's influence over the last 25 years of the industry.
Yeah, it's a long time. Before we kick it off and bring our awesome panel of crew of really important people for our industry and who can talk about the game, what we want to do is show you a quick video. So let's take a look.
All right, let's get this thing started. Let me introduce our panelists. I think they're coming. Yep. Kevin Cloud, Hugo Martin, Jörg Gustafsson, Todd Vaughn, and Tom Mustaine.
Yep, come on out, guys. Thank you. Thank you for joining us, guys.
Welcome.
So many of you might know a lot of these guys, especially, I got to say, your congratulations. Youngblood just came out today, and Cyberpilot as well, so round of applause to you. Very exciting. If you guys want to kind of go down the line and tell us sort of what you do right now, what your role is, and kind of the impact that Doom has had on you.
Kevin Cloud. My role is a senior producer at id Software right now. Doom's had a huge impact on me because I started with id. Working on Doom, so massive impact on my life, and excited to see it still around and kicking. So fantastic.
Hugo,
creative director at id Software, and yeah, it's been. I mean, it made us move to Texas, so it dramatically changed our lives, which is awesome. We love living here, and it's great. It's so fantastic to be a part of pop culture history, which is cool.
That's awesome. You're?
I'm the executive producer at Machine Games, and I mean, for me personally, Quake, of course, has been the big inspiration and something that has, it's a big part of my career. But id Software titles in general have always been something that we have, looked at and draw inspiration from over the years.
So I'm Senior Vice President of Development for Bethesda Softworks, and it's amazing just the relationship with Doom as a fan, just playing the original, original episodes, and then having the opportunity to work with this team and, growing the brand from kind of where it was with Doom 3 and working with this team specifically on Doom 2016. It's phenomenal.
Tom?
Yeah, I'm Tom Mustaine. I'm the co-studio director of Bethesda Dallas. And yeah, Doom awoke something inside me. The first time I turned the corner in E1M1 and saw stairs going up, I was like, I need to make things for this. And that was the beginning of my my journey to make levels for Doom. And from that's why I'm sitting here today. I made nonstop Doom things. Thank you, Kevin. Because that basically opened the doors.
That's awesome.
Kevin, you've been working on Doom since the first game.
Yep.
This 25-year milestone, what does it mean to you?
I'm old. That's one.
Okay.
Absolutely. You know, and just lucky to have been there, be a part of it, and be a part of it for such a long time. And just proud to see so much of the original Doom, you know, alive and well in Doom Eternal. It's fantastic to see.
Yeah, Hugo, you're working on Doom Eternal, obviously, and helped relaunch Doom in 2016. What does Doom mean to you as somebody that started not working on the team?
The project, I mean, it's just awesome to see to be a part of a team, you know, and that whole process. You know, it takes a great team of people to make a good product. And over the course of the 6 years, and really throughout the company, but you know, the Doom team has come together, and it's just been awesome. It's cool to see like guys like Kevin that they dig it, you know what I mean? Because they were there for the beginning. So, and it's kind of easy because the original Doom game is so good and the designs are so iconic. So we really just have to continue to look at the source material, kind of identify exactly what makes it great. And we generally never steers us wrong. But it's been amazing. I mean, everybody's so happy to be here. The fans, I mean, I think that's been the most enjoyable part of it all, is getting to meet all you guys and read all your comments, even the bad ones. And because you're passionate about it, you know, and we're big nerds too. So we're passionate about Doom as well. So the community and the team, it's just been fantastic.
Cool. Any other reflections or ways the rest of you have looked at working at Bethesda and id and the ZeniMax family, how you've kind of looked at this milestone?
I mean, for us, it's of course been a very big thing in general. We have always been, like I said before, big id Software fans, and they have over the years been a great inspiration, even from the very beginning when we started at Starbreeze. And we have, you know, been working with these. In a way, I think we have looked at the id Software guys so much, and we have drawn so much inspiration from the games that we have, in a way, we have competed with them as well, in what we have been doing in our ambitions to create good games. And I remember when we started at Starbreeze, and Magnus, who was the founder at Starbreeze, Magnus Högdahl, a great programmer, and in my mind, he was the Jan Carmack of Sweden. Very, very early, and this was in '95 at E3, and Magnus then showed a game called Into the Shadows, and that was, at least to me, I believe that was a title that could have become the success that Quake later became. And you know, and through the years, it's been going on like that. And when I started working with Magnus in '98, then he had just added splines to the engine. And we did a lot of work with that. It was amazing. You know, we could do so much cool environments with it. And then the game we worked on got canceled, and then Quake 3 came out with all of these, you know, with their splines, and it looked absolutely stunning. And then, you know, that went into then the 2002, I think it was 2002 E3 when the Doom 3 demo came out. Which I specifically remember the scene when this pink gear breaks through the pipes. It was also something that we draw a lot of inspiration from and looked at a lot. And at that time, Magnus had just started working on this next generation of Starbreeze engine with the dynamic lighting and the per pixel stencil shadowing. And then when we released Riddick based on that engine before Doom 3, that was a very big win for us. And something that has was definitely a big win for Magnus. So when I say that the id guys have inspired us, it's probably more than that. They have been basically made our entire careers. So of course it's a great honor to be able to work with Machine Guns now and with Wolfenstein under the same organization with the support of id Software.
Thank you. So Kevin, I mean, you were even at id before Doom came out, and I'm just kind of curious, like, what was that vibe around the office before you guys actually, sent the game out into the wild? Were you guys kind of aware of, like, wow, we're actually making something pretty magical, or were you kind of just like, you didn't know how people were going to react to it?
I mean, I think we had an idea that we were working on something cool. You would never really know how people are going to respond until you get it out there. At the time, when I first started, it was almost like a garage band, right? So it's just a handful of guys. We're working out of an apartment and working on fold-out tables and things like that. So our expectations, were relatively limited. But, when you get to the point after you release the game and you start learning about we're being banned in offices because we're harming productivity, we're bringing down networks in college campuses, you go, okay, we've got something that's pretty nice here. So, yeah.
Yeah, totally. Then once it was actually out, and the reception was insane. People were just like, everyone was letting their friends know about it and everything. How did that feel? Did you guys kind of feel like rock stars in a sense? Like, oh my, we made this amazing thing.
I can only speak for myself.
Yeah.
And
how do you feel?
Humble?
Yeah, very lucky. Yeah. Very lucky. Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty exciting moment to, walk around, grocery store or something like that with an id shirt on and have somebody recognize you. That's, I have to admit, that was pretty fun. Yeah. But, so much of our time was just spent focused on work. We went straight from Doom into Doom 2 and then started on to Quake. We carried on crazy hours, and our lives just almost revolved around offices. I spent more time with Adrian than I actually did with my family, right. During those years. Adrian Carmack, a fellow artist at id Software, fantastic artist. And so, we just sort of rolled on to the next thing.
That's awesome. And I have to ask, oh yeah, go ahead.
When I first joined the company, I basically did exactly what you just did with him. We'd sit around, ask him a bunch of questions in the cubes. He'd give us some stories sometimes. But it's just the coolest thing. It's like, you worked on Doom.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, so do you.
There's a lot of stories. You have stories about, didn't a dentist office used to be next to kind of where you guys were, and people were drilling in teeth and...
Yeah. That's back in the... we started off in an apartment, and then we moved to this black cube building. If you guys are familiar with this area, over on 635 and 30, there's a big black cube building, and that's where id office for a while. Mm-hmm. And up on the 6th floor was Suite 666, which was our office.
Yep. Naturally. Appropriate.
And Adrian and I had an office that shared a wall with a dentist, and it was very thin, so we could hear when the dentist would drill on people's teeth. And so the drill was bad enough, but also, of course, you hear people moaning and making their drill sounds and things like that, which was pretty freaky.
Really good Foley work there, maybe.
Was that the inspiration for hearing the demons on the other side of the wall? And
it may have been. Yeah. It may have been. We tried to drown it out with some Metallica, but the dentist didn't like that either. So eventually, when they would moan, we would moan back. The wall, which we thought was fair.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. And of course, a lot of people may know Miss Donna's been at id for 25 years now as well. Yep. Miss Donna is the id mom. What was it like the early days with her, being there? Basically, she describes it as kind of taking care of her kids in a lot of ways, the way that she was just making sure everyone had everything they needed. And it's still the same way today, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Now, if you go visit id, the first person you meet is Miss Donna, which is fantastic because she is a fantastic person. Yeah. She started with us back in the Doom days, so she's been a part of id and the id team for a long time. And she was originally brought on to just help us out for a short period of time, but she decided to stay and take care of us, and that's what she's done. Not just taking care of us around the office, but taking care of us in all parts of our lives sometimes. I mean, a lot of the guys have sort of grown up at id, and she's played a huge part of that. So that's why we love her. That's why she's our id mom.
There she is. Miss Donna. Is that her? Is that she's coming down? Miss Donna.
Thank you.
You can't escape the limelight.
I know she doesn't love the spotlight, but very, very nice to see her here. So thank you, Miss
Give her a hand.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's awesome.
And I'm like, called to do the interview for ID, and it's in Texas. This idea like what Texas is like, and that's the first voice I heard. It's like, all right, it's like Texas. I want to, a lot of stereotypes of what you perceived, preconceived notions of what it's going to be. And she's like, hey, darling, how you doing? I'm like, holy cow. That was a lot of Texas right at the beginning.
Every day. That's how you start your day every day.
Avalanche of Texas right there.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I do have to ask one last story about just the days at ID. There's a famous story about an axe and a door. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah.
Because I've seen some pictures of it.
Yeah. So that was Romero. He was stuck in his office. Somehow the doorknob came off or broke off, and he couldn't find his way out. And none of us are really mechanically inclined. And Carmack had a battle axe lying around. I got from like the Renaissance Festival or something like that, this giant battle axe. And he just yells, stand back, to Romero. Romero says, what? He goes, yells, stand back again. And so smashes through the door.
Nice.
Just hacks it.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's how you do it at ID Software.
Wow.
Nice.
I was lucky enough to visit those offices back in the day, really early on, and it was after Doom when these guys were in the secret area working on Quake, and that the way that things worked there when these guys would play deathmatch, or it just everything amped up, everybody screaming and yelling and knocking things over and going crazy. So the battle axe, I heard that, I'm like, yeah, of course that's what happened. Like that's how the door, it was after a deathmatch or something. But I think it was like middle of the day, right? Like
absolutely.
But it was not surprising after visiting and seeing how people got amped up playing the games. So,
that's awesome.
So it's the year of Doom, Yerk, but you actually got started on a game other than Doom, Quake. Can you talk about how you got into the industry? I think there's maybe a story about a PC or a parrot or something like that.
Yeah, it is. It actually took me a very long time before I got a computer. I just couldn't afford it, and I didn't save money either. As soon as I got my hand on some money, I just spent it. But my brother, he had the Commodores and the Amigas, and sometimes he allowed me into his room to play games on them. But those were rare occasions. And then over the years, I played a lot of games. We played the Double Dragon at the Hamburger Bar. We played Nintendo games and Duke Nukem at the local university where we could connect the computers, which was really cool. And of course Fallout and Doom at my friends' houses. But it was in 1996, and this is where the parrot comes in, when I placed a bet on this local hockey game, and I won. And I won a lot of money, about $400 or $500. And of course, I instantly want to spend them. And the first thing that popped up in my head was to buy a parrot.
Everyone does that.
And then I called my friend because he had a car and he could take me to whatever you call the store that sell parrots. And but then he convinced me to buy a computer instead. So we went to this electronics store and we bought I think it was a Pentium 90, I would think. But we also bought then what would become one of the greatest passions of my life, and that's Quake.
I think we can all agree you made the right decision.
Yeah. Thank you. You can always get a parrot later. You don't need one, Just get one next time. So Todd, do you know where you were kind of in your life when Doom came out, like career-wise?
So for part of my career, I was with PC Gamer Magazine, and I came on right after Doom had come out, and it was right around the time Doom 2 was launching. And kind of seeing the impact it's had, hindsight being 20/20, you can see all of the things that happened. But in the moment, what you were really seeing was just so many people inspired by what Doom represented. You know, it was a shift of a whole lot of trends in the industry to just fast, fluid, technology-driven, you know, all of the sort of like hallmarks, earmarks of what the Doom represented, speed, the sort of accessibility of control and just moving through the environment so fast. And there were a lot of people who were just super inspired by that throughout the industry. And so you had the phenomenon of the Doom clone. It's just, you know, everybody's inspired by Doom, trying to, you know, get that lightning in the bottle. And so for those years when I was with PC Gamer, just kind of seeing the sort of the reverberations, the impact that it had on everything that followed. It set a very high bar. It set a very ambitious goal of, you know, marrying the action and the speed and the fluidity and technology all together. And, you know, then you had the moment of Quake that kind of did the exact same thing, but added, you know, a whole new dimension to it with internet play and, you know, Q-Test and Quake World, growing it well beyond that. And then the accessibility of modding and making that a theme of what you can do with those style of products. It was just, you know, again, looking back on it, it's obvious that was the epicenter. You know, the release of Doom set a tone for what happened next, and it changed a lot of things about the industry. It made, I think it gave life to community around game in a way that you didn't have before. You know, the fact that there's still WADs being made today on Doom, the original Doom, is phenomenal. It's a testament to, you know, what Kevin and the team created. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible. And as you went on to, you know, join the Bethesda family, I mean, you've been there for quite some time. So as id comes on and you're sort of finding yourself working on, you know, Doom and having it be part of the family, what did that feel like?
Well, it's pretty amazing. I mean, I was talking to Laffy Taylor. This was a few years ago, and like pinching myself. I have Kevin Cloud's cell phone in my, you know, his cell phone number in my phone. You know, I'm working with the people that made that impact. And I think when id joined, you know, sort of the Bethesda family, that was sort of like the tone across all the teams. Like, wow, you know, we're working with the guys who did that. And the best part is they're great. Like they're humble, they're hardworking, they like to share, they like to help. And especially so, Hugo. Yeah. So we've got, you know, we've got this, you know, phenomenal relationship with id, and you know, you kind of see that with the relationship with some of our other teams and other products where they use the tech. You know, they share some of the sensibilities. In the case of machine games and id, they work very, very closely together. You know, kind of on, you know, alternating between the products together, and you know, I think it's all out of love and respect for, you know, what the team has created.
Yeah, it's incredible. I know today we showed, you know, that Doom 1, 2, and 3 are available on platforms which they've never been on before, Nintendo Switch being one of them. Super exciting, yep. And that's in the DNA of the modern game. So Hugo, I mean, playing Doom 1 and 2 and 3, you know, like when you look at those games, I mean, what is it about them that really inspires you, especially as you go on to, you know, create newer Doom titles?
It's kind of a little bit of everything, you know. With Doom 1, I think when you make something that becomes like a significant moment in the history of pop culture like Doom is, it's like, it's the logo, it's the name, it's the story of how they came up with the name from The Color of Money, which is also an awesome movie, and just the fact that that's an awesome scene, and the design of the characters, their names, like the tech, the gameplay, like it's just all of these things coming together, and we see that happen sometimes in the entertainment industry and pop culture. Something like I would liken it to like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you know. Or Star Wars, the first Star Wars, where it just kind of all gels together. It's a lot of pressure because, you know, it's that good. So Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal has to be, you know, we don't want to embarrass the Doom name. But that's probably the thing that I find most fascinating about it, is to just analyze it from a design perspective. You know, really what makes it tick. I think it taps into something that we all have in us. So even the name, the id, there's like this primal urge to just unleash, aggression onto the world, and id games kind of give you an avenue to do that in a politically correct way, I guess. And that's never going to change. Like people always want to just be Doom guy, and that kind of a power fantasy is something that's in all of us. So I think it connects with people on multiple fronts, which is really hard to do. I was asking Kevin earlier how much time they spent iterating on the design of the characters, because in art school you would study characters like the pinky and like the silhouette and the color, and that's why it identifies with the player, and red is like blah blah blah, and your answer was
about 0.
Yeah. Which is typically the case. I mean, I know Kevin Eastman worked with him at Blur, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was just something that he thought was cool and funny. We met Adrian Carmack at a bar recently, about a year ago. All the team was there, and we were having a good time, and he was having a good time too, and we ran into each other and was like, this is Adrian Carmack. And it was really cool because he was kind of schooling us on like, hey, listen, if you really want to make it feel like Doom, you got to not take yourself too seriously. And we were all like, that's what we say all the time. And he's like, Evil Dead, that was a big inspiration for us. Like, I mean, we've been studying the things that they were interested in from the beginning, but it's just those little elements that have to be in place, I think, to make something that special, that resonates with people.
Yeah, it's working pretty well. Yeah.
So Jason mentioned, so Jason mentioned we did announce the legacy titles coming to phone and consoles today. So before we talk about those games a little bit more, we have a clip to show. Roll the clip. All right. Okay, here comes the desert island question. Doom 1, Doom 2, Doom 3. You only get to have one, and why?
Forever.
Forever.
It would have to be Doom 1 for me. I mean, it's the classic, and it's original, so yeah, I got a lot of fond memories about it, so yeah, Doom 1 for sure.
Okay. Hugo?
Yeah, totally. Doom 1, it's no question.
Yerk?
It would probably be Doom 3 for me, actually, just because it's very close to my heart in many ways. So I think that's why.
Okay.
I'm a Doom 1 guy.
Okay.
All right. I need my double barrel shotgun real bad. So all right, it's Doom 2 for me. I love it. I love it.
Awesome.
That's awesome. So Kevin, I mean, you worked on these games. Like, what is it like to see them re-released? Obviously, there's people that maybe never played them. It's hard to believe that that's possible, but you're out there, I know. So, you're taking your Nintendo Switch today and you're downloading them for the first time. What's that like, a new audience, 25 years later?
It's super cool. The thing is that surprisingly, for me, like playing Doom 1 and 2 on the Switch, it just feels like it's meant to play on the Switch. It's super fun. So for anybody who hasn't played any of the old titles, it's a great time to pick them up and play it. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, and if you're here, obviously downstairs, you can check it out, which is cool. So yeah, but otherwise, you should just download it. I mean, it's there.
That's right.
Yeah, why wait?
I know when I think of the original Doom games, the first thought that comes to my mind is E1M1, just going up those stairs, this fully realized 3D world. And I was kind of curious, when you think of the classic games, what goes to your head first when you think about them? Maybe from a work perspective, it might be different.
When I think about the classic games?
Yeah.
sort of what goes through my head.
Yeah.
You know, again, from a work perspective, when I go back and play Doom and Doom 2, it just brings back, you know, some memories of what it was like when I was working on it. I remember the first time that I had we had just put the fireball onto the imp. And, you know, the imp fireball isn't that fast, but it sure seemed fast to me the first time I had it coming at me. So we're sitting there playing it, and the fireball comes at me, and I basically dodge in my chair, right, as if the fireball is like coming at me in real life. And it just dawned on me how powerful first-person shooters are, because I mean, there's a thing going on in the game that's eliciting a reaction from me in the real world as if it's happening. I don't have to have VR goggles on or anything like that to feel immersed in a game, and it's just a super powerful moment that you know, I think that's kind of the core of what a first-person shooter can deliver.
Hugo, any thoughts?
How good it was. My first real Doom that I fell in love with was Doom 64. That was, yeah. I went to art school, and I was a Mac user. So we were super. Everywhere you went, all the labs had Macs, but my friends in the dorms had PCs, and so you got to play Doom, and it was awesome. But as soon as it came out on a console, that was when I was able to, you know, play it. And I love that one. But it's a trip because like we look at those games so much when we make for Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. Look at the resource management of those original games. You know, like, yeah, the plasma was awesome and it tore up the cacodemons, but if you overused it, you'd run out of it. So it was like a thinking man's game. You had to like, okay, I'm gonna like save this because this cacodemon comes out here and this door opens and there's all these guys. And we really strive to, that's the genesis for the resource management in Doom Eternal, which was just like make every gun count. The rocket launcher in the original Doom, I remember like it being awesome and hurting me, you know, like if I didn't use it correctly. And being super pissed when I missed a shot, because I was like, and being super excited when I walked into a room and there was like 6 missiles on the, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, this is good. So we really tried to create that, recreate that in, or let that inspire us, our design decisions in Doom Eternal, you know, and that's something they did in 1993, you know, in the 90s, and it's just as good today as it was then. Because I think anytime you make the player think about their choices, that means they're engaged. So it was overall what I remember as a very engaging experience, and we hope that people feel just as engaged in Doom Eternal.
Okay. Todd, I know you mentioned people should play it if they haven't played them yet. What makes Doom 1, 2, and 3 a good primer for Doom Eternal?
It's just the sensibilities of it. It's unadulterated adrenaline. It's, you know, just pumping it straight into your veins and going for it. But at the same time, like Doom 1, you know, and sort of like the standard that it set, and whether it was they were aware that they were doing it at the time or it was just happy accident, is you don't really have to know anything coming into it, but you know exactly what it is as you're doing it. And it's just that purity of design and what it represents. Like, first room, don't die. Keep moving. Yeah. It's a very simple equation. And so I think that translates throughout all of the games, frankly, and that, you know, it's a lot of that simplicity of design that informs, you know, the deeper aspects of the game. What Doom 2016, you know, started in sort of the reinterpretation of all that magic was, you know, making it that tactical puzzle of the right weapon, the right, you know, right decision, right moment in time, you know, moving through the environment, choosing how you're going to get health, choosing when to get the health packs, choosing when to go after that glory kill. And I think, you know, that all of that just sets the table for what Eternal offers, which is even, you know, a deeper version of that.
Yeah, so for folks, I mean, it's a true generational title now, 25 years, right? So I love the fact that it's coming out again on the new consoles. You know, we've got folks that are growing up right now playing Minecraft and other pixel art games, and pixel art's kind of having a resurgence. Here's Doom, baby. It's like the pixel art dream, right?
Yeah,
so,
totally.
And Doom has a purity to it, and from a gameplay perspective, similar to Todd mentioned, there's a purity about how simplistic these combinations become. And from a design perspective, we'd make levels. Nothing's more fun than, oh, there's a rocket launcher in the middle of the room, cool. And we go and run over the rocket launcher, and you know, sadistic designers like myself make a bunch of lost souls come into your face. And you're like, oh, I'm switching to the rocket launcher. And you got things that are going to kill you immediately. So, you know, it's fun to try and figure out those action puzzles, and that purity is there. It's played its way and influenced everything from a design perspective for years and years. And in 2016 and in Eternal, you've got that same, you know, you kind of have to figure out very quickly in split second, I'm going to have to handle this scene this way and pull this gun out and do this thing. And that's still there in the classics, but it's, you know, you've got the music and you've got the resource management. It's definitely give it a shot if you haven't yet. It is the grandfather of the shooter, so the purity is there.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know a lot of times people think about Doom 1 and 2 when they think about classic Doom, but Doom 3 really did kind of take the series in a new direction. Kevin, what was it like to see, you know, going from these sprites to, like, you know, fully realized demons and kind of a darker tone to see that game kind of come on board?
Well, I love Doom 3. I love the darker tone too. I mean, it was a good time for us. We had just come off of Quake 3 Arena, which was, you know, just more like an arcade action, just all-out shooter. And Doom 3 was a good opportunity for the team to sort of explore something with more of a narrative, a little bit more depth in the gameplay, and realistic environments. So it's fun to work on. You know, that was, I think, is the first game to have real-time dynamic lighting and shadows, which was pretty impressive for the time, and normal maps and all of that. So part of the reason why we went for more of a survival horror pace was to try to showcase or take advantage of that lighting system, really show it off. The other thing is, of course, the only way a surface could be lit is to toss a light on it, and lights were pretty darn expensive in Doom 3, so we really had to be careful about how we used them. So that combination is sort of what moved us into a direction of having more of this kind of slower-paced horror feel for the game.
Sure.
But it was super fun to work on, and you know, a fun game to play through. So
yeah, can't wait to play through it again. It's going to be awesome. Hugo, you know, like looking back at Doom 2016, one of the favorite moments for a lot of people was probably finding those Easter eggs from classic levels. And then Eternal, of course, a lot of people are noticing like the demon designs are kind of going back to that Doom 2 look. Even the plasma has a redesign. So how often do you find yourself just looking at the original games when you're, you know, in development for
Constantly.
Eternal?
I'm playing through Quake 2 single-player campaign right now again. Yeah. You know, we played Quake 1 when we started. We played Doom 64 when we started the project. Pretty much every time we start a Doom game, everybody has to spend time playing Doom, you know, the originals. And every time you go back to it, you find something else, like the resource management, you know, evaluating Doom 2016 and saying this game is great and how can we make it better. We could probably make players think a bit more about the choices they make with the weapons they have, like you do in the original Doom. So I think it's important to tap into it because it's good. Like, I wouldn't, you know, we wouldn't use it if it didn't work, you know. So some of the Doom 3 stuff is awesome because it is a different style of game, and I love that game. I played the hell out of that when it came out. But the slower pace of that game doesn't really obviously work, so you're looking for to try to capture some of the, as he said, the simplicity of the original game in a modern AAA shooter. I think they're just really good. Again, I just can't say it enough. I mean, it's from a design nerd perspective, like the simplicity of the silhouettes and how each silhouette stands out to the player, even in tiny little pixel form. You could read from across the room, that's a Mancubus, and the guy who hits the pose like this is, you know, the Archvile, and those guys are really scary. And then that sound that guy makes, that means that there's this type of demon around the corner. It's communicating information to the player really, really effectively. So you're able to make decisions like really fast. And that's kind of the deep sort of meta of Doom that we're trying to capture, you know, with our games. And so we look to it because it's good. And we want it to feel like Doom. We continually want it to. I'm a big pop culture nerd, and I'm not too thrilled with the latest Star Wars films, to be honest. And yeah, because
controversial.
It's not Luke. It's not. They are not looking at the source material, in my opinion, enough to like who is this guy? Like Yoda would not say that. Like, and the way they act and how flippant they are with the Jedi. You know, the Jedi. You know, like it's like, dude, it's all about the Jedi. You know, like, so we do not want to be responsible for messing up someone's childhood. I mean, these guys are like telling you their life's work is inspired by this game. We're not trying to fuck that up, you know. So,
it's good. It's a good answer.
All right, we'll have to talk Star Wars afterwards. You're working on Wolfenstein games, talking about Hugo, looking at the past games. How do you look at Doom games past and even present up through Doom Eternal when making the Wolfenstein games you guys make?
We look at them, of course, and we look a lot at them, you know, to get a lot of that id feeling into them, and that retro feeling into them, and you know, like it's hard to say actually, because we in a way we both do these, you know, fast-paced, you know, with a dangerous feel to them shooters, right? And but they are still very, very different from each other. But they also have this retro feeling. I think that's, you know, that's one of the key things that we get from the games when looking at the old id Software titles and the old Doom games.
Cool. Tom, you worked on Doom 2016 before leading BGS Dallas. What was that like, and can you talk a little bit about what it was like starting with Doom as a fan as well?
Oh man, that's two questions. But yeah, so I got the honor and the opportunity to work on Doom 2016, and it was a little bit of peeking behind the curtain because I had no idea what to expect. These guys were so secretive, and we're just down in Dallas doing our thing, and id's over in Mesquite or up in Richardson doing their thing. And so Kevin, I talked to Kevin, and he came and sat me down in Doom 2016. He's like, well, what are you going to tell me about the story? And he's like, just play it. Just play it. I'm like, okay. And I played it, and I'm like, it's fast, it feels good. I got glory kills, and like this, oh my God, this works. He's like, okay, we got to go talk for a minute. I'm like, just give me a minute. I'm going to keep playing. But it was an astonishing moment. It's like we got to peek in and see the team, and Hugo, Marty, the whole team. Everyone was so focused on making this game 2016 what it was, and that was a huge, huge, huge part of like why we got excited about being able to be taking part of it. So. The second question, we're running out of time, so.
Okay, we are running out of time, so we got a couple questions left. Kevin, let's talk about how important shareware was to the launch of Doom.
Yeah, I mean, shareware was incredibly important. You know, we were a small team, independent, self-funded. Around about the time we released Doom, I mean, shareware had already existed for over a decade, so it was a pretty well-developed market. Now, of course, shareware is traditionally more of a sort of hardcore group of buyers, which was great for us because we love communicating directly with that community. A lot of people that were developing shareware at the time were doing things like crippleware and stuff like that that wasn't as successful. We followed a model that Apogee had pioneered, which was this 3-episode, give the first episode away, and then sell the other 2, which was, you know, proved to be super successful. But the other thing that was happening in the market were third-party companies were taking the shareware portion, the free portion, and putting it on discs, and then selling it, you know, in racks in grocery stores of all places and gas stations. So this gave us a reach that we would have never had. It was just really great timing for us. I think even if we would have went, you know, just straight retail with it through a traditional publishing method, you know, it might have had more profit. Who knows? But from a perspective of getting out to a massive number of people, I don't think we would have ever done that. And honestly, I don't know if Doom would have had the same impact as it did, as quickly as it did without it.
I have a quick story for shareware real fast. My first version of shareware that I got a PC, I had an Amiga, and I moved over to PC after seeing Doom. I didn't have Doom yet, but I went into Circuit City and it was running shareware Doom, so I bought some discs, and then went over to the computer that was running shareware Doom and like sat there and like, it was like a Mission Impossible moment. And I copied all the shareware over and then brought it back and played it. So yeah, shareware made it entirely possible.
Nice, very nice.
Well, as we wrap up, are there any final thoughts that you guys have about just 25 years of Doom? Obviously, what it means to you and, just to be here and celebrating this. And, if not, 25 years from now, we can come back and do this again. But any thoughts?
I better take my opportunity now rather than wait for 25 years. Just to say it's fantastic, again, to be a part of id Software all these years, but also just fantastic to be a part of Quakecon and these great fans. It's just absolutely amazing. I love coming. You guys are fantastic. So I really appreciate it.
Hugo?
We can't mess it up. We just got to keep it going. So it's good. Pressure's good, and it's an honor. It really is. As I said, it's fascinating to analyze what makes it work and to truly see how smart it was and how amazing the work that these guys did and how it continues to help us make great games today. And the fans and the community that I've grown to love here in Quakecon and in Texas in general. I think you can only make a game like Doom in Texas, and I think that, yeah, I think that is awesome. I really
dentist
do.
Office, right? That's where all the inspiration comes in.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic.
Jörg?
I think I would like to take the opportunity to say thank you to my biggest hero of all the id Software guys, Tim Willits, who is probably the single person that have inspired me the most throughout the years. And of course now he's leaving id Software for so many years, so I just wanted to say thank you to him.
Awesome. Todd, Tom?
So, for this 25 years of Doom, I think, there's the thing that just sort of resonates with me is that, Doom, you can have your favorites, but there's not a bad one in the bunch. And having played Eternal, I got the inside track that I know Eternal is going to be awesome. Probably my personal favorite. So that's just the exciting thing. I know this brand's going to continue. It's going to be something that, as long as we hold true to these the ideals of the originals, we're gonna be on the right track.
Cool.
Yeah, I just thank everybody for playing and thank the id guys for making a career for a lot of us here. Because without it, we wouldn't have, I thought games were magic things that came out of Japan. That's how they showed up, right? I didn't know I could make games. When I started learning how to make levels in Doom, it's like, it's possible. And without that, there's a whole industry that wouldn't have existed if you guys hadn't suffered through the pain of moaning and screaming dentist chair people and hit so many things. It is fascinating how many things you guys did right, from mods to the perfect balance of this. It's and being 25 years, like I said, it's generational, and I love seeing people are still making maps today. You can go and check out Doom maps that are mind-blowing today that we just couldn't even imagine back then, because there's a community that's still just building these classic Doom maps. It's fascinating. So yeah, thanks to everybody here that plays, and again to you guys for making it possible for us to be sitting here. So yeah, that's where I'd go.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, that's our panel. Thanks everybody for joining us. If you're here at Quakecon, be sure to go down to the exhibit hall, check out Doom Eternal, play the classic Doom games, and have a great Quakecon. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.